Good day everyone, I'm Mariam Tolentino, second year Bless HM. And for today's video, I will discuss the 15 ingredients in baking. First is baking powder. Made from cream of tartar and starch, baking powder is a leavening agent which causes your batter to rise. It has a built-in acidic ingredient, so you don't need to add anything, unlike with baking soda. Too much baking powder results in a bitter tasting product, while too little results in a tall cake with little volume. Then next is baking soda. Baking soda is pure sodium bicarbonate and needs to be paired with an acidic ingredient like honey, chocolate, or yogurt. Like baking powder, it's a leavening agent. Use too much and you will have a soapy coarse cake. Next one is butter. Butter as a solid fat. Butter is a better sweethead for baking than any other fat product. Butter in particular adds flavor with a melting point just below body temperature, which is why some cookies and baked goods tend to melt in your mouth. It also helps in leavening and adds moisture. Then, cornstarch. This ingredient has multiple purposes depending on the type of dish it's being used in. Cornstarch is usually either a thickener or a binder, but can also be an anti-caking agent. It's great to use in gluten-free cooking instead of flour to thicken sauces, custards, or cake fillings. Next is eggs. Eggs do a lot in baking, but most importantly, they're a leavening agent, adding volume, and are a binder, meaning they keep the finished product together. You can use the whole egg for flavor binding, thickening, or glazing, or you can use egg whites and egg yolks for separate things. Egg whites are a drying agent and add moisture and stability. Egg yolks contribute to texture and flavor. Then flour. Flour holds ingredients together in baking. When flour protein is combined with moisture and heat, it develops into gluten. Different types of flours have different levels of protein, which are sustainable for various baked goods. Next is milk. Milk. The protein in milk softens, contributes moisture, and adds color and flavor to baked goods. It's a double whammy in terms of functions, as it gives the dough or batter strength and structure, as well as adds tenderness, flavor, and moisture. Then, salt. Salt does a couple different things in baking. For one, it helps preserve the color and flavor of flour. In bread, it controls of the fermentation rate of yeast and strengthens the gluten protein in dough. Though it seems salt is out of place in sweet recipes, if you skip it, your product will taste very bland, as it also enhances flavor. Then, shortening. Shortening is just 100% solid fat made from vegetables oil, almost exclusively used in baking. When you use shortening instead of butter in baking, you will get a softer and more tender, taller and less flavorful product. Shortening flavorless, solid cooking and baking fat made with hydrogenated oil. Next is sugar. In any given recipe, sugar is performing a number of functions you're probably not aware of. For one, it adds texture like keeping your baked food soft and moist. It is also yet another leavener. Two, working in conjunction with fat, eggs, and liquid ingredients. Sugar sweetens by the sugar caramelizing in the recipe and adds the crunch to the crust of cakes and cookies. Next is buttermilk. Brings a pleasant tang to cakes, breads, biscuits, and other family favorites, while adding very little fat, like yogurt and sour cream. These acidic ingredients also helps tenderize gluten, giving baked goods a softer texture and more body. Plus, it helps quick breads rise. Next one is yogurt. Its creaminess helps keep baked goods moist. Its tanginess imparts a crave-worthy, old-fashioned flavor. Its acidity helps activate baking soda, which can make baked goods fluffy and light. Then, next one is applesauce. Applesauce, besides being a nutritious and filling snack, applesauce is a great fat replacer in many baked goods. Baking with applesauce instead of butter or oil adds fiber and reduces calories in cakes, muffins, and breads. And because of its water content, applesauce will also keep your baked goods moist and fresh longer. Then last is spices. Culinary use of spices can be aromatic or pungent in flavors and peppery or slightly bitter in taste. In order to keep their fragrance and flavor intact, they are generally added in the cooking recipe at the final moment of cooking, since prolonged cooking results in evaporation of much of their essential oil. Then example of spices: cinnamon, nutmeg, mace, allspice, cloves, tarnish, cardamom, ground ginger, vanilla beans, malev, then lavender. Then the last one is black pepper. And that's the 15 ingredients in baking that I know. Thanks for watching.